the one, the only, Ben Sion.
Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Just Daf it as we continue with Gittin. We're getting near the end, about 15 dafim left. Today is Gittin Daf Ayin Vav number 76. Fairly interesting share today. Let's get into it. Top of Ayin Vav and Aleph, third line. Tana Rabbanan. Hareza Gite Hamanashet Shamshi as Abba Shtei Shanim Valmanas Shetaniki as Bini Shtei Shanim. Right, these are cases similar to the Mishnah. On condition that you service my father for 2 years, or that you nurse my child for 2 years. Even though the Tanai wasn't fulfilled. This is consistent with the opinion of Red Meir. Meir says you need a Tanai Kafel. We learned Masachas Kedushin many times. I've told you we didn't learn it yet, but we will learn it in Masachas Kedushin coming up soon that Red Meir needs a Tanai Kafel, specifically if you say the word im. If you say the word im. I mentioned if you say the word almanas or ma'achshav, you don't need a Tanai Kafel. But here you do need a Tanai Kafel. You're saying the word im. And if you don't make a Tanai Kafel, then the Tanai is not strong enough and it's batel. And you don't need a fulfillment of the Tanai. The Chacham say it is a valid Tanai. And if she doesn't do those things, not a get. Areza get. If the Tanai was fulfilled, it is a get. Basically, the Tanai is in place. It has to be fulfilled, otherwise it's not a get. Shimon Lil adds in that we don't find in the Torah a Tanai that wasn't doubled. That was said one Torah's hain and then one in Torah's lav, in the positive and the negative. There's two cases of Tanai mentioned in the Torah. One is when Avram tells his servant Eliezer to go find a wife for his son Yitzchak. If she's from right, and he didn't want him to take a wife for Yitzchak from Benos Canaan. So he said it in both ways. If you find, then not from Benos Canaan to do it. If you don't find, you only find from Benos Canaan, don't take. Also, when Bnei Gad, Bnei Reuben went at Chalutzim, right, they stipulate with Moshe Rabbeinu that they'll go ahead, they'll lead the war to capture Eretz Yisrael, and then they'll get a portion of Eretz Yarden. So those are the two instances it's in the Torah, Tanai Kafel. So Shimon says, we always find a Tanai Kafel in the Torah. So what did Rabbi Shimon mean? What did Rabbi Shimon Gamliel mean? Ika da Amri, the Rabbi Meir Kamer. Some say Rabbi Shimon Gamliel was directing his comment towards Rabbi Meir. Ika da Amri, the Rabban Kamer. And some say he was directing his comment to Rabbanan. Ika da Amri, the Rabbi Meir Kamer. V'hachi Kamer. This is what he was saying to Rabbi Meir. And the Chat Tanai B'Ksuvim Sheino Kafel. There are two instances in the Torah where you have a Tanai Kafel. Anytime it repeats something in the Torah twice, only twice, and not 3 times. So it's a machlokas Masechas Kedushin whether something, a law that's repeated twice, the Torah could have said it once. If it said it once, we learn from it to other places. But when the Torah says something twice, the reason it said it twice, according to one opinion, is to tell you it only applies in these 2 cases and nowhere else. So therefore, you can't learn Tanai Kafel, and according to Reb Meir, you don't need a Tanai Kafel normally. Iga da Amri, the Rabbanan Kamerlu. Some say that Rosh Hashanah was directing his comment to Rabbanan. V'hachi Kamerlu. This is what he was saying to them. Ein lecha Tanai b'ksuvim she'eino kafel. V'gamrina minayu. He was saying like the other man Amar, that when you have a Tanai Kafel in the Torah, when you have a Shnei Ksuvim Abon Kecha, two scriptures, 2 psukim which tell you the same thing. So therefore, you do learn from that. You do learn elsewhere in the Torah, and therefore you need a Tanai Kafel. And if you don't have a Tanai Kafel, like Reb Meir says, then it shouldn't be a good Tanai. For a minute, the Gemara has a question. The get is based on the fact, contingent on the fact that she's going to service his father for 2 years. Or nurse my child for 2 years. If the father or the son dies, it's not a get according to Reb Meir, because you need the team of the Tanai, and Tanai wasn't Niskayim. Raise a get. Even if the Tanai wasn't fulfilled, it is a get. She has the right to say, Lo, I wanted to service your father, he died. Give me your son and I'll nurse him, but but he's not alive, the child. So the Gemara says, no, it's kashu the Rameir, kashu the Rabbanan. It seems seemingly on the surface, it seems this is the opposite. In the first price, it said Rameir said, right, we throw away the Tanai. The Tanai is not important. Here he says the Tanai has to be fulfilled. In the Rabbanan, in the first price, he says the Tanai has to be fulfilled. Here they're saying it doesn't need to be fulfilled. So the Gemara says lo kasha. So the verse says the Rameir lo kasha. Rameir is not a question. Hasam lo kafel Tanai. In the first price, he didn't make a Tanai kafel. Hacha but the kafel Tanai. The second price, he made a Tanai kafel. When you make a Tanai kafel, the Tanai needs to be fulfilled. Rabbanan the Rabbanan lo kasha. Man chachamim the hacha. Who's a chamim in the second price? Doesn't say who they are. If it's not her fault, so then we don't say that the Tanai wasn't this kind. The Tanai wasn't this kind. It's an onus. She wanted to nurse the child. She wanted to service the father. It wasn't available. So therefore, it's like she was Mekayim the Tanai, and it is a good get. Tana Rabbanan. Amar la b'fnei shnayim reza giteh achmanasha tisham she'zabu begim beis shanim. Chazar Amar la b'fnei shnayim reza giteh achmanasha titni limasayim zuz. She wants this to be provable, so he says that tonight he wants it to be provable. He says it tonight in front of two Eidim. The first night he says in front of two Eidim is that I want you to serve my father for 2 years, and then he takes two other Eidim and he says I want her the get to be contingent upon her giving me $200. So the Gemara says, "Lo bitel divrei harachonas harishon." The second Tanai does not mitigate the first Tanai. Ratzah mishamsha, ratzah nesenes tamasayim. So she has the option. The fact that he said it twice, she has the option: either give him $200 or service the father, and any of those two Tanaim would fulfill the gerushin. Aval amar lo b'fnei shnayim reza gidach v'nach shetitin li masayim zuz. V'chaz amar lo b'fnei shnayim reza gidach v'nach shetitin li gimel me'ad zuz. He first says in front of two Eidim, I want her to give me $200. And then he brings two other Eidim. He said, I want her to give me $300. Since it's talking about the same thing about money, Bitel Divrei Achron, it's originally assumed that he basically is adding on. And the first one he's disregarding, and the second one he's just adding on. He wants more money. And the Brisa notes at the end, you can't have one aid from each of the two sets of Eidim joined together. So then where's the Haya? What's his last line of the Brisa mean? Ilay Maseifa, that's going in the last case, right? Where first he said $200, and he said $300. Hare Batel, the first set of Eidim is Batel, they're nullified. Of course, one aid from the first group can't join. Ela Reisha, it's going on the Reisha, where he said two different Tanaim, and they're both extant. And either one can be fulfilled. Shmar says Trito, right? Even though they're both extant, right? There's two Eidim for the first night, and the second night, you can't combine one aid from here and one aid from here. The Gemara says, you might think that any aid whose sole purpose is just to ensure that the Tanai is in the sky, even though they're different Tanai, they can join together. Kamash Malan, that is not the case. They cannot join together. The Mishnah says, he says, I'm giving you a get, contingent on me not coming back within 30 days. He was going from Yehuda to Galil. Yehuda is sort of central Israel. Galil is northern Israel. Higia la'Antipris. Now the Gemara is Antipris. Basically, at least the Gemara thinks in the Mishnah. The Rishonim think in the Mishnah. The Gemara seems to think Antipris is the border, the southernmost border of the Galil. He got there, B'chazar, and he came back within 30 days. Batal to know. Now it's a very strange lashon, batal to know, right? If he went and then he came back within 30 days, right? Meaning it's not batal to know, it's that he came back, all right? He said imlo basi, if I don't come back, then it's a get. But he did come back. So therefore, he fulfilled the Tanai, right? He didn't fulfill the Tanai, and the get, right? The get doesn't take effect. The language of batal Tanai is a very strange language. Batal Tanai sounds like there's something wrong with the Tanai. The Tanai is disregarded. Even though the Tanai was sort of fulfilled, we disregard it. That's really what Batal Tanai means. Even though it was fulfilled, it's disregarded. Here, it wasn't even fulfilled. He came back in 30 days. This is the way Rashi explains the Gemara. Rashi explains the Gemara that basically it was fulfilled, the Tanai. Tanai was fulfilled, but it means Batal Tanai. Rashi learns to mean that you can't use the get again. Since he already went to the Galil, I can't use the same get again, which says Dimul Basi Meikan Rashal Shemiyom. Because since he got to where he was going to, he apparently, according to Rashi, he stated, I'm going from Yehuda to Galil, and he got to Galil. so he can't use the get again. If he didn't get to Antipris, didn't get to Galil, so he could use the get again at a later time. That's Rashi's explanation. I have a totally different explanation of this Mishnah and the Gemara, which I'll offer to you in Ian Ben Sion, based on the word batal to know. The Mishnah continues, he was actually in the north, and he's going to central Israel. He got to the northernmost border of central Israel, and he went back within 30 days. Batal to know, again, the same language is Tanai is batal. Or, right, he didn't fulfill the Tanai, he came back within 30 days. Not again. A third case, he says, this is your get. Here, according to Rashi, he stipulated, I'm going to Chutz La'aretz. If I don't come back within 30 days, it's a get. He didn't fully get to Chutz La'aretz, he got to Akko, which the Gemara, seemingly at this point, assumes, the Gemara is going to assume Akko is part of Chutz La'aretz, even though now it's northern Israel. And he came back, Batal to know, again, his Tanai is Batal. He came back. He says it's a get one time when I don't see your face for 30 days straight. I'm not in front of you for 30 days straight. We don't see each other for 30 days straight. Every 15 days he's coming back and seeing her. Since he wasn't secluded with her, it is a get now. Obviously, why should it be a get, right? It's only a get if he didn't see her for 30 days. But he came back every 15 days. So the Gemara will ask this question, why it should be a get. The Gemara says, the member of the Antipris Begal Havakaima. The first case in the Mishnah assumes that Antipris is in the southernmost point of the Galil. The Raminhu, our Rabaisa says, Antipris Yehuda. Antipris actually is in central Israel. Kfarosnai Begalil, and Kfarosnai happens to be in northern Israel. Bein Tayim, in the area between Kfarosnai and Galil, Matil and also the Chumra, Megreshes, Ve'ina Megreshes. That the space between Kfarosnai and Galil, that's a suffix whether it's part of the Galil or Yehuda. Ve'ina Megreshes, it's a suffix Gerushin. Ve'ina Megreshes is misafik, right? Amar Abaye. So how do we resolve our Mishnah for the Bryce? Amar Abaye trait Tanai Amar. We have to re-understand what our Mishnah is talking about. He meant to say two Tanai, even though it's not clear in the Mishnah he made two Tanai. It seems he only made one Tanai. If I don't come back within 30 days, he actually said two things. There's two things he said there. Basically, he said, if I get the Galil right away, I want it to be a get once I get the Galil. Forget about 30 days. A second clause, if I wait on the journey for 30 days, and I don't come back in 30 days, regardless I went to Galil or not, should be a get. So in Gil and Antipris, the Chazar, he went to Antipris, which we mentioned in the Brisa, is not actually the Galil, the Chazar, and he came back within 30 days. The Lola Galil Mas, he didn't get the Mata, he didn't get the Galil, so he didn't fulfill that tonight. He didn't fulfill the Tanai of 30 days. He came back within 30 days. Batal to know. Again, the Tanai is Batal. It wasn't this kind of to know, and the get is not a get. Again, it's a strange language, Batal to know. I'll explain that more in Yom Ben Sion. So the third case in the Mishnah is talking about Akko. Memra da Akko b'ninas hayam kaima. Right? It seems for the Mishnah that Akko is outside of Eretz Yisrael. The Amar of Safra, the Safra said, when the rabbis believe each other, meaning rabbis came from outside of Israel to visit Eretz Yisrael, and they wanted to go back to Chutz La'aretz. But Akko have a mifter. They would walk them, they would escort them to Akko. Mishum also latzes from Eretz to Chutz La'aretz, because people who live in Eretz Yisrael, they're not supposed to live to Chutz La'aretz. So you see what Akko is part of Eretz Yisrael. Amar Abaye traits and Amrilo. Like we said before, he's really saying two things. If I get the Ninas Hayam, Alter Lavigita. Automatically it's a get. Alternatively, if I stay on the journey for 30 days, I don't come below the scene, I don't come back within 30 days, it would also be a get. He got the Akko, which is not outside of Eretz Yisrael. The Chazar, and he came back within 30 days. He didn't spend 30 days away from her, and he didn't go to Dinas Batal to know. Again, the Tanai was not fulfilled. What it should say is Tanai lo niskayim, and it's a get, not Batal Tanai. The last case in the Mishnah, he says it's a get anytime I don't see you for 30 days straight. The Gemara notes, V'halo over. He saw her every 15 days, every 10 days. So how is it a get? Amar Avuna, my panecha. Panecha does not mean that he's going to see her presence, tashmish. It means he's together with her. And that's what the Mishnah means. Even though he saw her, we don't assume they were together, and therefore it's a get. Why is it called panecha, face? Lishna ma'al yanaka. A lot of times the Gemara will say things in a euphemistic way, not exactly express the coarse language of what it's really talking about. Panim is not the face; it's the lower face of the woman. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Yochanan says, "La'olam panecha mama." Surely the explanation of our Mishnah means to see her. Mika sana reizim goresh. It doesn't say that it's a get. It's not. She's not divorced because he saw her within 30 days. Areza get kasani. All it means, the Mishnah is going to say it is a valid get. We'll have a get yashan. It's not considered a get yashan. We're going to learn in the next pair, get yashan, right? If he gives her a get, right, or he writes a get for the woman, but he hasn't given it to her yet. And then there's the clue after the writing of the get can't be used anymore. Why? Because we assume that they reconciled and they were together when they secluded. And if we allow it to be a get, then people will say that the child they had from this union when they secluded was born out of wedlock. We don't want that to happen. But here it's not a get yasha. We don't assume they secluded. However, if 30 days pass, he doesn't see her, then it'll be a get. He says this language. It'll be a get if I don't see you within 30 days. He's coming and visiting her every 10 days, so since he didn't seclude with her, it is a get. It'll get yashan and choshin. And this is the important point. We're not worried it's a get yashan because he didn't seclude with her. The Gemara says, right? We're assuming that he wasn't miyachid with her, but maybe he was miyachid with her, and he reconciled with her, and they worked together. And should be a get yashan, right? Why do we assume according to Rabbi Yochanan it's not a get yashan? Amar Rabba Ravuna Haki Amar Ava Mari Mishmei the Rav. But Omer, when the husband says the man says in front of Adam, he says the woman is trustworthy. I'm trusting my wife that she is trustworthy to say that I didn't cohabit with her. Some say this discussion was said about our Mishnah, our next Mishnah. He says, he stipulates, if I don't come back within 12 months, it's a get from now. And he died within 12 months, it's a get. Right? It's then a get lachar misa, because the get took effect before he died. It's why aren't we worried about in the interim he came back and secluded himself with her, and it's a get yashan. Right? They're going to learn on Daf Ayin Tet on 79. Amar Rabba Rav Huda Achi Amar Ava Mari Mishmei the Rav Omer Ne'emena Salai Lomer Shlo Basi. The husband gives credence to what the wife would say later on if she's testifying that we didn't seclude, we weren't together, so she's believed. The one who teaches is teaching about our Mishnah. Certainly we teach about the Brisa. However, the one who says it's necessary to trust his wife, to say that he trusts his wife, that's only by the Brisa. The Mishnah, we don't need to say that because he went away for 12 months. We don't assume that he secluded with her. In the case of the Brisa, there's more reason to say secluded because he's visiting her every 10 days. But in the case of 12 months, he never came back, so you don't need the woman to validate that in order for not to be a get yashan. The Mishnah says, he says, I'm giving you a get if I don't come back within 12 months. He died within 12 months, ain't no get. The reason it's not a get is, like we've explained many times, the ain't get lachar misa. The get is only going to take effect after 12 months. And he died before 12 months, so it ain't get lachar misa. However, he says the word ma'achshav. So when he dies, the get happens retroactively before he died, and it's not a problem to get lachar misa. Imlo basi, if he says mikana yurbeis chodesh, I'm not going to cut. It's a get if I don't come back within 12 months. Kasvu v'tnu get liishti. So he says based on that, write a get and give it to my wife. Kasvu get b'soch yurbeis chodesh. So they wrote the get within 12 months. V'nasu la'achar yurbeis chodesh ain't no get. They gave it after 12 months. It's not a get because again he said im. So the get only takes effect when he dies. So he died and they gave it after he died. So even though part of the get is writing the get, but the main part of the get, according to Rabbi Lazar, is Eidei Masira Karsi. It's the giving over of the get. And that happened after the death. It's not a gerushin until he dies, and he's dead. And once he's dead, you can't give a get. Another case. Here he says, write and give a get to my wife if I don't come from now until 12 months. They wrote it again, the same thing happened. They wrote it within 12 months. They gave it after 12 months. Ain't no get. It's not a get. For the same reason in the previous case. Rabbi Yossi, Omer Kazeged, he says it is a get over here. Now, Rabbi Yossi seems illogical. Why does Rabbi Yossi say it? It's the same thing as the previous case. We'll try to understand that on tomorrow's daf. Rabbi Yossi's shita, his position will be explained. Kasu la'achar yud beis chodesh, v'nastu la'achar yud beis chodesh, u'meis. If they wrote it after 12 months, and they gave it after 12 months, right, u'meis, and then he died, ima get kodem l'mis. If the giving of the get preceded the death, there is a get. Again, he fulfilled it tonight. He didn't come back within 12 months. But the get was not even written or given. But he was mitzvah for them to write it or give it. So, if he's still alive after the 12 months, he didn't come back, but he's still alive, and they were successfully able to write the get and give it to her before he died, it is a get. The misa kadmal a get. However, misa, if he died before the giving of the get, ain't no get. You don't know. He died. We don't know what happened first. Zuisha amru megareshes. It's called a suffix gerushin, and there's certain halachas that apply to a suffix gerushin. Like we know, should do chalitza and not yibam. And also we learn Rabbi Zera says he's chayev and mizonos. The Gemara says Tana Rabbi Seinu. The Brayz says Rabbi Seinu is hiruli nase. In the first case in the Mishnah where he says Areza gidech im lo basi, he doesn't say ma'achshav, he says im, right? Even though according to the Rabbanan in our Mishnah it's not a good get because it's la'achar misa. The Brayz holds the Rabbanan said it is a good get. Man Rabbi Seinu, who is the rabbis? Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel Beidina d'sharo mishcha. It's the basin that allowed olive oil of non-Jews. Savri like Rabbi Yossi. They held like Rabbi Yossi. The Amar is Mano Shashar Mochiach. Right, we learned this earlier. Rabbi Yossi says the fact that you write the date in the get shows that you obviously wanted the get to take effect before you died. It's an umdina, like we explained before. Amar Rabbi Abba, Breder Rabbi Chia Bar Abba, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya, B'noshar Gamliel, Bar Rebbe. Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya, who was the grandson of Rebbe Yehoreh, he paskin like Rabbi Yossi. And all the rabbis disagree with him. Kol Siyasa, all the other rabbis disagree with him. Amrila, Kol Shato. And some other people say only the rabbis in his generation didn't agree with him, but subsequent generations did agree with him, which is true. He passed like Rabbi Yossi. Amrila Rabbi Elazar said to a certain older man, Ki Sharui Suha, La'alter Shari Suha, or La'achar Shnemasar Chodesh Shari Suha. When we pass like Rabbi Yossi, right? So, Zmana shall get Mochiach Alav. It's like he said, Ma'achsha. Do we allow the woman to remarry right when he dies, or because it happens retroactively, which Midaraisa is true. Of course, this is only a question of Rabbanan. Midaraisa, of course, she can remarry after he dies. Once he dies, the Tanai is Niskayim, and she was Niskareshet already previously when he said Ma'achsha, when he gave the get originally. Or, Ola Achar Shem Asar Chodesh Shatzir Shari Tua. Or maybe Midarabanan, they said you have to wait for the 12 months to come, and it sounds like the Tanai was in this guy after 12 months, he didn't come back. La'alter Shari Tua da Haloasi, right? La'alter, it makes sense that he should move terrorists right away, because he didn't come back. The Tanai was fulfilled. Oh, Dilma La'achri was Chodesh Shari Tua da Hai Kaim Le Tano. And then it's cognizant to everybody that the Tanai was fulfilled. So the Gemara asks immediately, why don't you ask the same question on our Mishnah? Ma'achshav im lo basi, right? In the second case in our Mishnah, where he says Ma'achshav, Mikam Yez Beit Kodesh, Meiz Daki Beit Kodesh, he's like, yeah, La'alter Heavy, the Halo Asi, Odil Malaki Beit Kodesh, the Haikaim Late tonight. Are we machmir and wait for the perception of other people? They'll say the tonight was not fulfilled in 12 months. In Achanami, the Gemara concedes it could have asked it about there. And Mishum Dahava Bahu Maisa. This elderly person was present when they were talking about the discussion of Yosi's Shita, not when they were discussing the Mishnah, but it would apply in our Mishnah also. Amar Abaye says, "Akol modim heichad amar lekeshetei chamim minartika." Even Rabbi Yossi and the Chamim agree. If a man would stipulate, "I'm giving you the get when does it take effect? When the sun shines in the morning, right? He gave it to at night, the top of Ayin Zayim and Aleph. Right? He meant to say that it only takes effect when the sun rises, and if you were to die at night, it's not an effective get because you can't have a get lachar misa. Almanas sheteitze cham mi'artika ma'achshav karmal. If he says almanas, on condition the sun comes out in the morning, even though he died at night, he's basically saying ma'achshav. Damar Rav Huna Marav, Ram Rebbe, kol omer almanas, kol omer ma'achshav. It's like you say ma'achshav. Lo nechlakud. our Mishnah and Rabbi Yossi only disagreed. Allah im say, and if you say the word im, Mar Savar Lak Rabbi Yossi, the Amar is Manash Shtar Melchiach Allah. The Bryce holds like Rabbi Yossi, the fact that the get was written at the night, right, and it's the dated at night, so therefore we assume he wanted to get. It's like he said Ma'achshav Havalei Kimayom Imesi Kima'achshav Imesi. It's like he said Ma'achshav. Mar lo savar Rabbi Yossi. Our Mishnah doesn't hold like Rabbi Yossi. Havalei Ki'im Mesi. Great. It's just like the words say Ki'im Mesi. When you say Ki'im Mesi, it's basically you only want the get to take effect when that thing happens, when the sun comes out in the morning. If he died at night, it would be a get lachar misa. It would not be a valid get. We'll stop over here. Stay tuned for Enoch Ben Sion, where I give a radical or a new explanation of the Mishnah on the bottom of Ayin Vavam and Aleph, which does not accord with Rashi, not accord with the Art Scroll, but it makes a lot more sense to me, especially the words batal, to know. Enoch Ben Sion coming up next.